Hi, welcome to the Laryngeal Gestures vocal workout. I'm going to take you through my 5 basic exercises that isolates and conditions important coordinations inside your larynx. Your larynx is the bony part that's here in the middle of your throat. Yes, it's this thing. It's actually a valve system that separates your breathing, meaning air coming into your body and out of your body, and food coming in to your stomach. Yeah, so it's a very important little valve that we have here. Now, it can do a few things that we need to do on a daily basis all the time. And it is swallowing, where it goes up and closes. Try that and notice what's happening. And it can go down and open, which is what we do when we yawn. Yes. All right. Now, I want you to try something. This is a premise for all of the exercises we're going to do today, is a feeling of the throat being open. Now, obviously, you're not going to open anything, but there's a feeling of no constriction in the throat. Now, you're going to put one hand underneath that bony structure. And then you're going to do that yawny breath that we just did, which is sort of like, I'm so surprised to see you. Do it one more time. I hope that you can sense that something on this hand, you can feel something going a little bit like this. That is what I call an open throat, and it's the premise for all of these exercises. Let's get started. The first exercise is called the vocal fry, and I just did it. Vocal fry. Yes? It's not that uncommon to use in speech. However, we're not really doing it for that. We're doing it because we want to figure out how much to compress the vocal folds inside the glottis inside your larynx. Yes? Lots of fancy words. But really, it is just that creaky sound that you probably already know how to do and you've done when you were a kid. Yes? It is I'm going to pretend to be dead or dying. Yes? There is no real mystery to it. And your voice is meant to be able to do it. However, you might find it hard to do because there's tension somewhere in this system, either on the outside or inside. And this exercise is there to help you fix that problem. So we're going to try and see if we can give you a trick to find it in case you didn't. And the trick is to try and go under the lowest note you already think you have. So that goes like this. If I'm going there was my fry. Yes? Again, if you're a guy, that's not going to be in the same place. But try it, and it's sort of like come from your speaking range and move down into your lowest note and see if you can go past it without squeezing or pulling or doing anything weird. Keep your hand underneath your larynx. Do the in-breath to the open throat. Good. Now let's say that you have found the creaky sound, the vocal fry. The exercise that I use in the studio is actually coming from this fry, once we have found it, and moving into a steady pitch, a steady speed of sound. This actually does something to your pitch understanding and is very important. So you don't think that you need to lift your larynx up or pull your larynx down to hit certain notes, but that you can find the pitch by moving your compression of the vocal folds inside your larynx. This is really, really important for how you think you're going to hit pitches. Okay, so now we're going to take it to a pitch. So it goes and your job is to try and make it fairly smooth. So it kind of doesn't go yes, that is incorrect. We want to get from the fry onto the pitch. Now, you try that, and then I'm going to show you some more. Okay, so I'm going to do a series of these, which is sort of like a scale, and then there will be time for you to do it. It goes like this. And you can keep going until you start feeling that there's some kind of grabbing that you need to do. Then you shouldn't be doing it any further. And that's sort of when you start moving outside of your speaking range often. Now you try it. The next exercise is called the witch crackle. And it's exactly what it sounds like. A witch crackle. Yes, that's where it comes from. Now, how do I do that? Now, the most important part is not to squeeze. Yes? This exercise is about being able to sort of lift and tilt something inside your larynx without closing it. Because that's what most people do. And I'm going to show you the incorrect way right now. It goes like this. That is incorrect. Yes? You probably could see that my larynx, first of all, went much higher. I don't know if you could see that, but I can feel it. It goes, it's like my larynx is on the way out of my mouth. However, so how do I fix that? You're going to put your hands there underneath your larynx. Do the yes? So I didn't actually close the whole system to be able to do that, meaning go too much into a swallow, which is technically what's happening inside there, is this valve system is closing a little bit so that you get this kind of really bright, pingy sound. Yes? And you might want that sound. If you're a rock musician, this is a sound you must have. Yes? Or you're not going to get that wow thing. Yes? So you're going to not close your throat. You're going to try it now. You're going to see if we can open it. Go. You're going to lift this part. Get something moving here. And go. Yes? It might be a little hard in the beginning, but don't worry. Again, this is a normal thing for your larynx to do. Yes? And you did it at some point in your life. You pretended to be a witch, or when you were a baby, you cried like this. Yes? Yes? This is normal human behavior. However, we forget to do it because we're, trying to be normal. And this is not really the way that we want to be perceived. Yes? However, you can do it. Now, that's the isolation. Now, the exercise itself looks like this, and it's kind of like a way of trying to put different vowels on this different space that you're creating up in your mouth. Now I'm going to do it one more time, and with the vowels, it goes like this. One more time. Now you try it. The next exercise is called the monkey grunt. And yes, you have done this before. You've pretended to be a monkey. Yes? And now, so that's actually your glottis compressing really hard and then releasing all the way. Yes? That's actually what creates that. So that's a really kind of conditioning of the glottal. Yes? So sometimes people call this a glottal attack. But it's not just a glottal attack, it's a glottal release. Yes? So, Okay. Now, some things to watch out for. If you're a guy, again, this is going to be in a different pitch range than what I do it in. Yes? And I'm going to show you what it looks like when you do it incorrect, because there are some real traps for squeezing here. Yes? As opposed to sort of like inside the pipe of your open throat, the glottis is moving sort of like this. Yes? Boom, boom, boom. Yes? We want that to happen inside, not with the whole system. Yes? So we go back to this thing. Put your hands underneath your larynx and yes? I'm lifting the ceiling in my mouth, the palate. You don't have to do it this fast, by the way. You can do it slower. Yes? You can also move the pitch up a little bit if it's too hard down there. Yes? Now, let me show you the wrong way. Yes? This is the squeezy way. Don't do this. But you might be already doing this, so that's why I'm showing you. Okay, it goes like this. Yes? I hope you can sense that there's a difference here. Doesn't fully release. There's some kind of happening. Yes? Okay, now we're going to start being a really big monkey, and we're going to become a smaller, more angry monkey. Yes? And this is usually a fun exercise, so try and have fun with it, or you're just going to feel really silly. So anyway, it goes like this. You're going to go yes? Now, the thing is that sounds like that might hurt. That could be uncomfortable, yes? If it hurts or if it's uncomfortable in any form of way, you're doing it wrong. Absolutely, for sure, you're doing it wrong. So it shouldn't be uncomfortable. This should feel loose, malleable, yes, doable. All right? Now you try it. The next exercise is called sighing, or controlled sighing. You know how to do sighing, right? You've done this before. Yes, it's kind of like with sound. Yes? So it's when the world doesn't go very well for you, yes? Now, we're going to take that into some kind of controlledness by adding support. Now, you will have seen the video from the breath and support video where you saw that you shouldn't let your rib cage collapse. Yes? This is very important in this exercise. So when I do controlled sighing, it sounds like this. Again, if you are a guy, now you're not going to find those same pitches. You're going to have to think falsetto, light, very sort of boyish kind of sound, yes? And it's definitely harder for men usually to find this sound. However, it is not impossible and everybody can find it, okay? Now, we're gonna do it with this in mind. You're gonna put your hand underneath your larynx. You're gonna do that weird in-breath yawny thing. Yes? Let's do that one more time. Now, the reason why this is important is because we don't want to just learn how to compress the vocal folds. They also have to lengthen to do higher pitches, and they need to do that too without tension. Yes? So that they sort of smoothly move in a sort of like elastic band kind of way, that they don't feel like they have to sort of like be rigid. Now, that's usually the hardest part. So the thing that mostly takes care of that is making sure you're open underneath your larynx and not squeezing anywhere. Now, I'm going to do it incorrectly for you for a second, meaning I'm going to squeeze the hell out of that. So it goes, ah! It's a very shaky, okay, that could be an effect, I suppose. But in order to just practice the very basic coordination of lengthening the folds, we're going to do it with opening, no squeezing, no lifting the larynx up too far. Yes, it feels like air is going through a pipe as opposed to the pipe closing in around a sound. All right, let's do it one more time, and then it's time for you to do it. Now you try it. The next exercise is the exercise. Again, you have done this before. You probably do this many times a day. You go, yes, sort of like to, I get it, yes. Now, I'm just taking that in a little further into another step, so that you're doing it with complete consciousness, yes. We want to condition this, and this is actually the first combination exercise, because we want to be able to choose which onset to make the sound with. Yes? How do I start the sound? We can either start with the vowel first or the consonant first. Yes? And we do this all the time when we talk. But when we sing, we have to be more aware so that we can put different effects into it when we're singing. And so if I want to go that's one thing, but if I wanted to go that shouldn't be that much more difficult. Yes? Now I have choice. So the combination exercise goes 3 uhs and 3 hs. Goes like this. Yes? Now we're going to go back to this spot here. You're going to put your hands underneath and you're going to breathe in. Yes? The h's are going to be harder because your rib cage is going to want to come in. This is a support issue. Yes? But that's why we do the uhs first and then the h's. Yes? So anyway, I'm going to show you the squeezy incorrect version. Yes? Squeezy incorrect. Don't do it this way, but I want to show you what it looks like so that you can watch out for it. Now, you might not be able to see me squeeze, but maybe you can. Okay, I'm gonna try it. So it goes, Yes? So it's kind of like I'm holding on to something in there. Yes? Not, Yes? That was the correct one. Now we're going to do it one more time, and then I'm going to let you have some time to do it. It goes like this. Yes? And then you could continue for as long as it feels comfortable. Yes? If it doesn't feel good, you're doing something wrong. Now you try it. Those were the 5 basic exercises. These basic exercises are movements and coordinations that your larynx should be able to do. Yes? There's nothing extraordinary about any of them. They're normal coordinations, even if they do seem kind of strange, some of them. Yes? Okay. Now you take these isolations and you put them together in different ways, and you have real exercises, I would say, meaning exercises that you can then move into singing. Yes? You want to try different pitches with all of them. You want to do different words, different types of vowel sounds. These are things that will make it harder or easier depending on the exercise. Yes? This is for you to figure out where your biggest handicap is, and then go work on that. Because that is what's going to give you the fuller voice. Have fun with your practice.